Soyamita Caitanya bole Dāsī mama. Nache mama, nache mama. Soyamita Caitanya bole Dāsī mama. Timirandasya kinangina salakaya sakshur militanyena tasmai sri gurave namaha namo mahavalinyaya Kṛṣṇa prema pradayate Kṛṣṇaya Kṛṣṇa Caitanya namne gora tvise namaha vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 17, the pastimes of the Lord in his youth.
Śrīmati Sachi Devī
Dāsī. Text 230. Thereafter the Lord charitably bestowed his benediction upon all his devotees. He gave the remnants of his food to Narayani, showing her special respect. That is text 230. There was a tailor who was a meat eater, but was sewing garments for Śrīdhar Thakur. The Lord, being merciful to him, showed him his own form, saying, I have seen, and dancing in ecstatic love, as though mad, he became a first-class Vaishnava. In ecstasy, the Lord asked Śrīdhar Thakur to deliver his flute, but Śrīdhar Thakur replied, Your flute has been stolen away by the gopis. Hearing this reply, the Lord said in ecstasy, Go on talking. Then Śrīdhar described the transcendental mellow pastimes of Sri Vrindavan. In the beginning, Śrīdhar Thakur described the transcendental sweetness of Vrindavan's pastimes. Hearing this, the Lord felt great and increasing jubilation in his heart. Thereafter the Lord again and again asked him, Speak on. Thus Śrīdhar again and again described the pastimes of Vrindavan, vividly expanding them. Śrīdhar Thakur extensively explained how the gopis were attracted to the forests of Vrindavan by the vibration of Krishna's flute, and how they wandered together in the forest. The Lord sometimes took the part of goddess Durga, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, or the chief potency Yogamaya. Sitting on a cot, he delivered love of Godhead to all the devotees present. One day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had finished his dancing, a woman, a wife of a Brahmana, came there and caught hold of his lotus feet. As she took the dust of his lotus feet again and again, the Lord became unlimitedly unhappy. Immediately, he ran to the river Ganges and jumped in to counteract the sinful activities of that woman. Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur caught him and raised him from the river. That night, the Lord stayed at the house of Vijaya Acharya. In the morning, the Lord took all his devotees and returned home. One day, the Lord, in the ecstasy of the gopis, was sitting in his house. Very morose in separation, he was calling, "Gopi, Gopi." A student who came to see the Lord was astonished that the Lord was chanting, "Gopi, Gopi." Thus he spoke as follows: "Why are you chanting the names Gopi, Gopi instead of the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa, which is so glorious? What pious result will you achieve by such chanting?" Hearing the foolish student, the Lord, greatly angry, rebuked Lord Kṛṣṇa in various ways. Taking up a stick, he rose to strike the student. The student ran away in fear, and the Lord followed him. But somehow or other the devotee checked the Lord. The devotee pacified the Lord and brought him home, and the student ran away to an assembly of other students. The Brahmana student ran to a place where 1,000 students were studying together. There he described the incident to them. When all the students thus resolved, criticizing Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, their intelligence was spoiled. Thus, although they were learned scholars, because of this offense, the essence of knowledge was not manifest in them. But the proud student community did not become submissive. On the contrary, the students spoke of the incident anywhere and everywhere. In a laughing manner, they criticized the Lord. Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, being omniscient, could understand the degradation of these students. Thus he sat at home, contemplating how to rescue them. All the so-called professors and scientists and their students generally followed the regulative principles of religion, fruitive activities and austerities. The Lord thought, yet at the same time they are blasphemers and rogues. If I do not induce them to take to devotional service because of committing the offense of blasphemy, none of these people will be able to take to it. I have come to deliver all the fallen souls, but now just the opposite has happened. How can these rogues be delivered? How may they be benefited? If these rogues offer me obeisances, the reactions of their sinful activities will be nullified. Then, if I induce them, they will take to devotional service. I must certainly deliver all these fallen souls who blaspheme me and do not offer me obeisances. I should accept the sannyas order of life, for these people will offer me their obeisances, thinking of me as a member of the renounced order. Offering obeisances will relieve them of all the reactions to their offenses. Then, by my grace, devotional service Bhakti will awaken in their pure hearts. All the unfaithful rogues of this world can be delivered by this process. There is no alternative. This is the essence of the argument. After coming to this firm conclusion, the Lord continued to stay at home. In the meantime, Kesava Bharati came to the town of Nadia. The Lord offered him respectful obeisances and invited him to his house. After feeding him sumptuously, he submitted to him his petition. Sir, you are directly Narayan. Therefore, please be merciful unto me. Deliver me from this material bondage. Kesava Bharati replied to the Lord, You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul. I must do whatever you cause me to do. I am not independent of you. After saying this, Keshava Bharati, the spiritual master, went back to his village, Katwa. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there and accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas. Okay, we stop here for today. Jai, Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 17, the pastimes of the Lord in his youth, ki jai. Jai, Srila Kṛṣṇa Das Kaviraj Swāmī Maharaj, ki jai. Jai, Om Vishnupad, Vishvavarena Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swāmī Prabhupada, ki jai. Then, we're reading In the Light of Loving Devotion by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj. This is Revealed Truth Unlimited, and that is from chapter 13. Whoever considers the deity of the Supreme Lord to be that matter made out of wood, stone, or metal, or the original spiritual master, who is an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord, to be an ordinary man who is prone to die, or the Vaishnava, to be coming from some caste, or the water that washes the feet of the pure devotee, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be ordinary water, although such water has the potency to destroy all the evils of the age of Kali, or who considers the holy name of the Supreme Lord, or mantras dedicated to him, which are able to destroy all things, to be ordinary songs, or thinks the Supreme Lord of all, Lord Vishnu, to be on the same level as demigods, has a hellish mentality. Whoever thinks in this way is certainly a resident of hell. We generally identify as spiritual truth that which comes down in this world to help us in a particular form, such as the deity that is given in the scriptures, and we are encouraged to see it in that way. But, as our Guru Maharaj explained, at the same time, that is not the same as the wholesale spiritual reality. So, to do away with our wrong conception that what we see, the deity, that it is Kṛṣṇa, to demolish that wrong idea, this was done, the destruction of the deity by Kṛṣṇa's own will. Is it clear? The devotee, yes, Maharaj. The Lord as Sri Vigraha, Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj. In the deity, the Lord and the connection of the conscious spiritual plane have come to this mundane plane of our sense experience. So the deity should not be neglected or reckoned as an idol. Outwardly, if we exercise our physical senses, the Sri Murti may be of stone or wood or any mineral substance. But we are not to look at that. We should try to see that the Lord is attracted here by the affection and love of the sadhus. As with the purifying capacity in Ganges water, so the purifying presence of the Sri Vigraha is independent of our physical senses and calculative mind. It transcends all the stages of knowledge which can be collected from sense experience. At the same time, however, the deity's conception, the presence of the Lord, is in this form, is considered to be primary, the lowest. The deity is a presence of the Lord, but in a gross way. Above that is the Shastra, the scriptures, And when we can trace the existence of the Lord in the heart of the devotees, our position becomes higher. We moved to a nearer realization of Godhead. Vaishnava, Shastra, Vigraha, Tirtha. In the Vaishnava, the truth is animated more than in the Vigraha, the deity. The Tirtha, holy place of pilgrimage, or the Shastra, scripture, we find a direct connection with Kṛṣṇa in the consciousness of a Vaishnava. Faith in the devotees, the Vaishnavas, grant us the most substantial help. The devotees are above even the Shastra, the scriptures. There are some who want to know about Kṛṣṇa only from the Shastras. In the Almanac, it is written that this year so much rain is expected, so much rain will come. But if we press the almanac, will a drop of water ooze out of it? The Shastra is something like that. It says, do this, do that. But the Shastra cannot give us Kṛṣṇa. First, we get the direction from Shastra. Then we are to do as it advises. We are to practice. But still, we are mainly helpless when searching with this method or that method. Practically, we should come in connection with the service of a Vaishnava. I am to serve, but I can't come directly in connection with him, with the Lord. So, who can I serve? The deity form of the Lord, the Vigraha, is there. The Shastra is there. But in a sense, these are superficial. The real substance we find in a Vaishnava, in his heart. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. The Kṛṣṇa conception, Kṛṣṇa as he is, all knowledge and love, we find living in the heart of a Vaishnava who directs all his activities towards his service. Misconception demolished. So the verse Ajaya Vishnau Siladir says that by knowing things only superficial, we are really pilgrims to hell. What we see, Kṛṣṇa in the form of stone, the deity, Kṛṣṇa is there, no doubt, but he is not limited there, limited to such a form. So our Guru Maharaj explained that to do away with such a conception, Kṛṣṇa takes such a bold step, allowing his deity to be broken, to show that I am not your sense-conceived, I-conceived stone form. I am something else. It is to elevate you to a higher understanding from the lowest position of understanding the nature of the deity, that is the presence of divinity as the deity, to demolish that limited conception in you and give you a higher type of understanding. It is something like the national flag. The flag represents the honor of the nation, but supposing in war the flag is captured by the enemy and trodden under the foot. Of course, when the flag is dishonored, it means the nation's honor is demolished. But still we have to think that the nation remains. It exists, though its honor, its freedom, and its independence, which is represented by the flag, is destroyed. Even when the flag is torn to pieces or trampled underfoot, burned to ashes or otherwise destroyed, the nation's integrity and independence is there, and again that nation may come back and conquer their foe. In this way, though the flag represents the country and its freedom, it does not represent the whole of its freedom. The nation's freedom, its independent existence, is not contained, is not limited there. So the Vigraha, the deity form of the Lord, is necessary. It is a symbol given to us, and we are encouraged to see that it is the Lord. It is He Himself, and not otherwise. But still, we must try to go further in our conception that He is not what we can conceive with our senses. He is not limited to that. We have to differentiate there. Progress always means elimination and new acceptance. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that we should always be free, unprejudiced to accept truth. We should always be expectant by comparative study to understand revealed truth in deeper ways. Jai. Jai. In the light of loving devotion, Ki Jai, Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev.
It's a great book. That's becoming my favourite book, actually.
It's very wonderful. Yeah, very wonderful.
It's not so. There's a lot of It's easier to understand that book. I find it's a lot because a lot of Guru Maharaj's books are way over my head, But this one, it's not so.
Very well done. Yeah, very. The concise teachings of Guru Maharaj, in all according to time, place, and circumstance. In this time, right? This book came out, and also the treasure chest of loving devotion is also. It is according to this time, place, and circumstance very good for us. These two books published, not too big, very concise Guru Maharaj teachings, and the sannyasis, Madhusudana Maharaj and Tridani Maharaj, have taken very wonderful made choices that are very wonderful for us now to read and give a new light on the teachings of Guru Maharaj. A new light. Very wonderful. You want to sing Ādi-līlā, please? Ādi-līlāya Namah Kṛṣṇa Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Nadavaya Kṛṣṇaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan.
Janame, mo, Ādi-līlā.
Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Vara Givid Hari Jul Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pa Paramhamsa Paravaja Kachai Vari Asatar Sachi Shishmat Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pa Paramhamsa Paravaja Kachai Vari Asatar Sachi Shishmat Shri Bhakti Rakat Śrīdhar Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pa Paramhamsa Paravaja Kachai Vari Asatar Sachi Shishmat Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pa Shri Gaura Kṛṣṇa Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pa Shri Sachi Devī Dāsī Shri Bhakti Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pa Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Rupanuga Guruvarga Ki Jai Namachar Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Baladev Vijabhusana Ki Jai, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Babu Ki Jai, Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivasacharya Babu Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai, Shri Kṛṣṇa Das Kaviraj Ki Jai, Six Goswamis of Vrindavan Ki Jai, Sabhashada Shri Nityananda Babu Ki Jai, Sabhashada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopanar Shami Kun Radha Kun Givi Govardhan Gopal Ki Jai, Shri Lakshmi Varaha Devi Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Sri Nasingadev Ki Jai, Bhakti Prabha Palad Maharaj Ki Jai, Ganga Janamarji Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Sri Nasingadev Ki Jai, Tosi Maharani Ki Jai, Tosi Parikrama Ki Jai, Ganga Janamarji Ki Jai, Grantavashram Bhagavatam Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki Jai, Vishwa Vaishnava Vajrasabha Ki Jai, Arkamat Vajra Sri Caitanya Ki Jai, Datiya Sakamat Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Sarasvatmat Ki Jai, Vishwa Bhirapi Datiya Sakamat Ki Jai, Sri Mayapur Ki Jai, Sri Vrindavan, Sri Mayapur Ki Jai, Sri Nabadrip Ki Jai, Vrindavan Purushottam Dham Ki Jai, Baladev Subtitle Jagannath Ji Ki Jai, Sri Govindakund Ki Jai, Sri Śrīdhar Ganga Dharaju Ki Jai, Samaveta Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai, Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, all the devotees all over the world Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Haribol, Hare Krishna Sachi Devī Dāsī Ki Jai.